So provided that a little bit of fear is what has allowed humankind to survive, right? We fear on a healthy level is what allows me not to go with a metal rod on the beach during a lightning storm. We know how that ends. So when the fear becomes debilitating, when the fear prevents us from living, that is when the fear is unhealthy. So we need to recognize that we need to have a level of awareness and fear, but it cannot prevent us from living. With Will, one of the things that I think he did that was very important, I don't know the extent of the documentary, but in real life, when I met Will, we spent about an hour and a half on the dock talking. He had a lot of questions. A very open mind, which is the other one that sometimes lacks. When people have fear, they come into the conversation with me with this is my truth. And no matter how many times you say, well, look at these, 10,000 videos or 10,000 minutes, or listen to me and these other hundreds of people that do this, they're like, no, and it's blocked. Will came in with an open mind, and then they did the first step, which is knowledge. He asked questions. He kind of like, as I answer something, he asked something else. I remember then I filmed the little segment, and then when we stopped filming, he and I kept walking, and he had more questions, and generalized questions or specific questions. And I think that's how each one, every one of us can do that, is we need to acquire knowledge. I do believe that fear stems from a lack of knowledge. The least we know, the more fearful we are. Let's bring us back to 3-4 months ago. How, I don't know if your social media, mine was insane. I actually had to stop, to mute several people because through the fear dictated by not knowing COVID, I kept receiving every day those videos like, oh, it's you need to do this, hold your breath for 10 seconds. And this Chinese doctor says this. And that was all fear, which then created all this massive panic. As we start knowing a little bit more about COVID or other things, those videos have disappeared. So those myths has also disappeared. So with knowledge, the myths dropped, and all of a sudden it's like, wash your hands, wear your mask, keep social distancing. Okay, I knew that. Right, it's a virus, so humankind has been selected by viruses for all the millions of years you've been that. It's like, oh yeah, you have a point, okay. And so it's like, well, right now we don't have a vaccine, so it has really negative. And all of a sudden, the fear went from like this crazy behaviors to, okay, yeah, I can coexist with this. Because what I think to believe is we need to coexist into knowledge, right? And then if there's one more step, which is confronting the fear in small steps through the knowledge, through the guidance. Some fears are healthy and will always remain healthy. Some go beyond healthy. I've been hit while driving a boat by a lightning. And I do have an extreme reaction to simply the flash. If I'm outside in an open space and there's a flash, it really alters my reaction. So what I've been working on is, as I hear thunder and all of that, I'll take small walks. Right? And I'll go with my friend, and as we're walking, maybe you see the white through the clouds and you hear the thunder several seconds later. I'll be like, is this still okay? Because in my mind is I need to run home. But in other people's mind, it's like, no, this is still, several miles away. We're still okay. And so work through that. Now, am I going to stand underneath a lightning storm to take pictures of the lightning like some friends of mine do? Absolutely not. But if I have, let's say, a fear of sharks, first I recommend people, and I just finished a conversation, it's like Google sharks. When you say sharks, what does it mean? Because a lot of people just do this, oh, well, when you enter the water, they exchange you for a seal. That's the reason why they eat people. It's like, they who? Because there's 520 plus species of sharks, and the smallest shark in the world is this size. So if it thinks you're a seal, most likely it's going to run away. Furthermore, it doesn't live where the seals live. It lives in the abyss of the ocean. And the biggest shark in the world feeds on plankton and is known as the whale shark because it feeds like a whale. So we have these boxes. The first thing I usually tell people is like, Google shark. Google the smallest shark in the world, the biggest shark in the world. Then Google, what do sharks eat? And you'll find that there are sharks that eat, yes, seals. Some will eat turtles. Most of them eat fish. Quite a lot eat crustaceans and mollusks and all of that. And all of a sudden you're thinking, well, if I encounter a shark that eats mollusks and crustaceans, is that a danger shark to humans? No. So then it goes back into all this review of understanding, right? So if I'm on the surface snorkeling, and I'm in an area where there are great whites hunting, is there an inherent risk? Yes, because I do have the size and the shape of a prey for this species of shark. If I come to the Bahamas and I'm snorkeling and below me there's not just nurse sharks, is my shadow, my shape gonna tell anything to the sharks that I'm prey? No, chances are they actually think that maybe you're a predator. Because now you're big, 5'5" plus, your 3-foot fins and all of that. You're moving around and splashing. You're coming over them without any fear. The nurse sharks will think, "Ooh, predator," and will swim away. And so that's what I try to teach people is if you don't have that knowledge, then you can't confront the fear. And if you go in with a preset knowledge, which is incorrect, obviously you will not be able to crash through that fear.